Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Delilah, Season 1, Episode 2, you guys. So, let's get to it, shall we? All right, so did you guys watch the review for the first episode? Make sure you watch that, okay, so that you can be on track here, all right? Because we picking up right where we left off. So, yeah, we done found out that Gary Shea is dead. Okay, Delilah was like, oh my God. Now she really knows that something is up here. The investigator tells her that it's supposed to be a suicide. Supposedly Gary Shea killed himself. And she was like, no, that's bullshit. We were supposed to talk on Sunday. Like, yeah, no. All right, so now she's a little spooked. Hey, you need to watch your back. Make sure you stay safe. And he was just like, yeah, something tells me that this case is going to be one where I'm always going to have to be watching my back. Okay, so good looking out. All right, so she goes back in there. You know what, Christine ain't coming, fine. Let me take my little nephew and get it on back home. When she goes back home, you know, her two kids are sitting there on the couch. And as soon as they see Dion, you know, she's like, Dion's going to be staying with us a little longer. And he was like, told you so. They knew that boy wasn't going nowhere. Christine trifling. Okay, the daddy in the hospital. Where else he going to go? So now Delilah has made up her mind. She's taking this case. She pours herself a glass of wine. She calls Tamara, and she was just like, yeah, I'm taking the case. Tamara was like, you said you wasn't going to take it. Now, what didn't happen that fast? So she tells her what happened to Gary Shea, how it's supposed to be a suicide, and, you know, she thinks that he was killed. Tamara was like, girl, you don't want to do this. Listen, I'm going to have all of the resources of the biggest law firm in Charlotte behind me, okay? And you not going to have nobody but Leah. And Delilah said, I'll have the truth. And she was like, girl, nobody give a damn about no truth? Shit. And of course, Tamara's upset because Delilah's not doing what she wants her to do, obviously. A bit selfish, if you ask me. I understand where Tamara's coming from, but like I said, her approach is all wrong. Little Miss Bossy Tamara. So the next day, we see her talking to her man, Casey, who's a very good-looking man. They're a good-looking couple, okay? They live in the high-rise up in Charlotte, one of those, high-rise buildings, and he's sexy, and she's sexy, and everything is sexy. But she's talking to him about how this is bothering her, this case, you know. He says, you ain't even got the case, and it's already bothering you. It's already causing problems with you and Delilah, you know, because potentially she might get this case. And Delilah's already decided she's going to take the case. He knows about Osborne Tactical. Yeah, the owner, Fred Osborne, he's an old school Republican. You know, he's a lot. So I hope you're ready. He tells her that they can work this out. They can keep things separate. Him and his partner have been doing it for years. And she was like, yeah, but your partner, you know, respects you. And he says, well, Delilah respects you. And she was like, I don't think so. Not after what she told me yesterday. And I was like, well, what did she tell you? She ain't said nothing that was disrespectful. You see, that's what I'm talking about Miss Tamara already. Just putting 20 on 10, just extra. But, you know, Casey tells her, all you got to do is you just got to do your business, do it the right way, what they hired you for, and win the damn case. And that's it. Okay? Easier said than done. Now, Delilah's at her office and she has Leah to come on down there. Now, Leah is singing a different tune. She ain't really sure she want to start this case now because she ain't really trying to die. I don't blame you, Leah. So Delilah is trying to explain to her that you're going to be safe. We're going to get a reporter over to your house. They're going to put it all over the front page news. And then you're going to, you know, nobody's going to be able to touch you. And look, this might be a whistleblower retaliation case. You know, this could be a big case. And Leah was like, oh, how much money can I get? She was just like, $1 million. And she was just like, look, it's not only just about the money. It's also about the fact that if these radios are faulty, you know, they're going to have to disclose that and all that. And listen, Leah don't give a damn about all of that. How much she gonna get? You mean it's big, like $5 million? Finally, Delilah was like, yeah, maybe, girl. Just sign the paperwork. Okay, Delilah will take care of the particulars. Now, jumping back over to the daughter. Remember I was talking to you guys about the violin belonging to Miss Virginia, how impressed the daughter was with Miss Virginia. Well, now she actually has a chance to play her violin for Miss Virginia. So this is a big deal. The daughter goes and plays for Miss Virginia and it's music to her ears. You know, she just plays a few, you know, she just does a little bit on the strings and Miss Virginia tells her to stop, okay, because she's just so touched by this whole thing. She offers her violin lessons. Now, jumping back over to Delilah. When she goes in, she asks her assistant, you think you could work with Mrs. Barnes? I mean, I know she's a lot and everything, but we're going to have a lot of work ahead of us now that I've taken this case. Now, jumping back over to Delilah, she goes back to the office. She tells her assistants, okay, go on and file it. Okay, it's official. All right. Delilah, what's her last name? I forgot what her last name is, versus Osborne Tactical. She was like, oh my God, it's really happening. Okay. You and Tamara are going against each other. This is like a Marvel movie. But, so now, Delilah is like, listen, do you think you could work with Miss Barnes? Because I'm telling you, we about to be buried in discovery. It's going to be a lot of work. I need her help around here. And the assistant says, yes, that's fine. Okay. Well, can you call her, please, and have her come here tomorrow? She can do that as well. While they're talking, the investigator walks in and he tells her that the case, Gary Shay's case, has been sealed and that it's being looked at as a murder investigation. Now, we see Tamara. She's having her meeting with Fred Osborne and her big boss. And Fred Osborne, you can already look at him and tell he's one of the good old boys for real. Okay. Rich man over the Osborne Tactical CEO. He knows that she's friends with Delilah. As a matter of fact, he says, is there any way that you can leverage that friendship so that we can get this case over and done with, taken care of before it even starts? You know, I got $2 million on it. She was like, oh, I mean, I'll keep that in mind. But, you know, let me just ask you something about this. Do you know anything about this faulty radio that they're talking about? And he was just like, yeah, I mean, they made up that story. You know, it's not so much about the radio, and it's more about the fact that, you know, he was having an affair basically with Leah Davis. Well, let him tell it. It wasn't an affair. He just got drunk a whole bunch of times and made the same drunk mistake with the same person. Okay. So, call it what you want, semantics, but yeah, he needs this case to go away because he's trying to stay married. He don't want this plastered all over the papers. He's not trying to blow up his spot at home. Okay. So do whatever you got to do with your friend. Y'all get together and go shopping and, you know, have drinks and laughs and whatever and get rid of this case. And remember, I got $2 million on it. We still can't get 200 and he got 2 million, child. Delilah, well, she can't talk to Gary Shay no more. She been reaching out to the wife, you know, and of course the wife ain't trying to talk to Delilah. That mean she just lost her husband, so no. Now, when she gets off of work, she goes and picks up little Dion and they go back up to the hospital because Dion left his hat up there. So when she gets there, we see her brother Nate talking to a very tall, stately man. All right. He's got on a uniform. He looks like he's a police officer. And she was just like, hey, Chief Sullivan. But this is her father. She's calling him by his name. So, I mean, that lets you know right there the relationship ain't all that good. Of course, Nate knows how Delilah and their relationship is. So him and the little boy kind of roll off. He's in a wheelchair. So he can go get his hat and everything. And that gives her time to talk to him like, oh, it's nice that you come up here to visit, Nate. I heard that the Gary Shay cases are sealed. You know, why is that? He was like, listen, don't even get involved in the Gary Shay thing. You already know I can't tell you that. Let's just work together as a family. She was just like, oh, I know you ain't said that to me. I said, oh, I don't know what Chief Connolly did, but Delilah and him definitely don't have a good relationship. When she mentioned House Francis at the beginning, I was wondering if that had something to do with the tension between the two. Maybe the dad had been cheated on the mama, left the mama, or something, you know. So, yeah, she ain't got too many words for Chief Connolly. Her nephew comes back with Nate. You know what? She take the little boy and she gone. You know, Chief Connolly was like, I see your sister ain't changed. He was like, nope, that is nothing that Delilah does. She stays the same all the time. So she takes it on back home, gets a call from Tamara. Girl, come on by. You know, I want to talk to you about this case. You're going to be interested in what Fred Osborne has to say. Even though Delilah don't think that she will, she's like, okay, I'll come on by tonight. And then in walks her daughter, who tells her that Miss Virginia wants to give her free lessons. And Delilah was like, who offers things for free? You know, the daughter was like, what's the big deal? Like, it's free. Can I take the class? And she was like, I need to meet her first. Okay, fine. She'll set it up. All right. So while Delilah is going off to meet with Tamara, we see her son call his father and was like, hey, Dad, I was just wondering if I could come. You know how kids are, just they don't know. You know, I was wondering if I could come over there and stay with you until Dion is gone. He was like, well, how long is Dion going to be there? He's like, I don't know. Okay, but little man been here for a long ass time. Don't look like he going nowhere. Well, of course, Daddy Yeah, he can be daddy from far away, but he ain't really trying to be daddy with the kids up in the house with him. He said, you know what, I'm gonna have to talk to your mama about that. Okay. And he was like, okay, fine. He was like, and I'm telling you, that don't mean that it's a yes. That just means that I'm gonna talk to your mom about it. Because the way he see it, he ain't fixing to take this boy on. Okay. Now, daddy over there, baby daddy over there, he got his girl over there. She feeling some kind of way because she ain't even met the kids yet, but he ain't really trying to let her. So it looked like he ain't serious about this girl. He ain't trying to let her meet the kids, all this. Okay, daddy got a whole bunch of shit. Like I said, ain't shit, never was shit, never gonna be shit. But whatever, like I said, Delilah goes over to Tamara's house. And it's not just Tamara and Delilah talking. Oh, it looked like it's a whole little shindig. You know, when Delilah comes in, Tamara says, don't get mad. This is something that Casey did. I didn't even know about it. And if I'd have told you, you wasn't going to come. Okay. Girl, come on in here. Look at all this we got going on. You know, can you fix her a drink? Ooh, look at this. This is Jamal. This is Casey's best friend. And ooh, look at how strong his hands are while he making this, whatever he making. And oh, I would love to be massaged. I said, Tamara, you was doing way too much. She is really trying to get, you know, Delilah buttered up, because she wants to talk to her about this case, you know, and it's very obvious. And then we got Jamal over there, you know, he all real extra bufferino swole in his shirt. And he giving Delilah the eye, and she kind of looked like she might be interested, but you know what? She's over there for a whole, you know how it is when you already got your mind set for something, you can't be dealing with all this other. Okay, that's kind of how Delilah is right now. So, okay, Tamara takes her outside. They on the deck. She telling her, okay, girl, well, I spoke to Fred Osborne, and just like I told you, he told me Leah made up that whole story about a radio, you know, that they actually did have an affair, and that she was in love with him, and when he told her that he not gonna be in love with her, that's when she showed up at the house and got into a fight and all of that, and he was afraid that it was about to blow his marriage up. So girl, that's all it was about. Look, we can settle this whole thing. He got $2 million he willing to give to Leah so she can just be quiet and go away. I mean, she gonna turn out being richer than both of us. Delilah was like, no. What about the whole story about Gary Shea and the fact that he done woke up dead? And she said, look, can you stop with the conspiracy theories? There is no story other than this story. This is what happened. Okay, you can quit talking to Leah and making her, you know, letting her make you think that it was something else. You know how Leah is. You already know how this is going to turn out. So she's really down on Leah, and she's really mad at Delilah. I'm not even mad at the fact that she's really down on Leah, because if Leah been on that bullshit since they was in college, then I can understand why Tamara's like that. I'm more concerned about the fact that Tamara just feels like she should be able to tell Delilah not to do some shit. And Delilah is just supposed to be like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do it. Like, this is her business. This is what she want to do. Okay, so don't tell this woman that she can. So, child, while she's sitting there getting fussed at by Tamara, she get a phone call. Oh, it's Mrs. Shea. She ready to talk now. Can you come on by? Sure can. Okay. Leaves the little soiree and takes it on over to Miss Shea's house. And so Mrs. Shea is telling her, like, you know, I've been kind of stressed with the new baby and all that. We had a lot of people over. You know, I just been tired. So Gary told me to go to sleep, take a nap. She said, when I took a nap, when I woke up, she was like, he was on the floor, knocked out. She was like, and there was an empty bottle next to him. But you know what? He had maybe 2 or 3 pills left in that bottle. He didn't have enough to die, not enough to kill himself. Okay, so it's some chicanery going on here. Not even sure if that's the right word, but you know, she feel, you know, she already know that something is up. So, trickery. That's what it is. There's some trickery happening here. And she says, listen, Delilah, I need to show you something. Come on out. Okay. So, child, they go in the backyard. I said, Delilah, girl, you better be careful. Do we know Miss Shea? You know, we don't know this bitch either. So they walking in the backyard and they go up to this shed. And, child, they open the door to the shed. And if it ain't the whole little A Beautiful Mind, y'all remember that movie with Russell Crowe when he actually was thinking he was doing all this, and then they went finally in the garage and saw all these papers that he had all over the place? Okay. That's the same shit that Gary Shea was on, except his makes sense. His is real. It's all paperwork that has to do with the plans at Osborne Tactical, files, all of that. Okay, this is where he used to do all his mad studies, and evidently don't nobody know about this shed. Okay, even though I don't know why they didn't, because the shit is just in the backyard. But hey, that's neither here nor there. The shed is back there, all these papers. She said nobody can know about these files, but she gonna go in and give them to Delilah so she can get this investigation going. So I guess Delilah takes those files, and she's on her way home. She gets a call from the old trifling baby daddy, and he's all like, hey, I got a call from the son. I can't think of his name right now, but he's concerned about Dion being there so long, says it's not fair to the kid. And she was like, no, what's not fair is the fact that you left these kids with no father in the house. And he was like, you put me out, Delilah. And she said, because you cheated on me several times. Like, what did you want me to do? Hell, you can't even pay this damn $200 fucking dollars that I've been asking for. He was like, I just gave the child $5,000 for the violin. She said, you did that only to make me look bad. Okay, playing the child against me. But you know what? She already know. Okay, and he was like, you know what, Delilah, I'm gonna let you go before you say something that you regret. Oh, he looking out for her. I said, oh, that baby daddy gonna be something else, So he hang up the phone, and of course his girlfriend is sitting right there, and she listening to all this, and she just disgusted, y'all. He ain't gonna be with her long, I don't think. Next morning, Delilah done had enough. Okay, she go over to Christine's, and Christine is Dion's mother. And so, Christina's all like, oh, Delilah, I was going to call you back. Girl, you ain't got to call me back because I'm standing right here in front of your face now. Tell me what it is that you need to tell me. Okay. Christine was like, girl, I can't be like you. I can't give and give and give. And I'm already sitting there thinking like, girl, this is your son. This ain't just, what you mean you can't give and give and give? Like, see, that's why some people just really don't need to have kids, right? Okay, Christine is one of them. Delilah was like, no. You don't need to be like nothing. This is your child. Like, you need to be taking care of your child. Like, he missed all of this. Okay, I'm sitting over there telling the boy how wonderful you are and how much you love him, and you over here with this mess. Child, while she's sitting there talking to Christine, and here come this big old tall man in his tank top. Like, what's going on here? Christine just walk away. And Delilah was like, now who the hell are you? And he says, oh, I'm a friend of Nate and Christine's. Name is Andre. I said, I kind of figured it was. And the nigga looking at Delilah like, he the man of the house while Nate is in the hospital. She looking at him like, ain't this about a bitch? Christine just done walked off. And she left here to her own, her own thoughts. So, honey, he closed the door. Christine just walked off like, I said, girl, Dion gonna be with you quite some time. And you better look out because that brother's coming to your house too. Because Christine told her that he ain't welcome there either. And he about to be out in 6-7 weeks? Girl, your house about to be full. Anyway, she goes on back to the office. She got these files. She's just bringing in the office. I said, girl, now they watching you. They gonna probably try to get up in that office. Why would you just bring them boxes and shit in there all willy-nilly talking about this is the Osborne tactical files? Can you go get the rest out the car? I said, girl, somebody is already plotting to get up in there to get that shit just right now. She finally does sit down and call Miss Barnes. And honey, Miss Barnes think that she about to get to negotiating. I assume that you were calling me to offer me a job. And Delilah said I was, and she was just like, oh, okay, well, let me just tell you my terms. And Delilah was like, let me cut you off. $50,000 in benefits. Okay, take it or leave it. Old girl was like, if you give me 401k, you ain't even got to put nothing in it. You just set it on up, then we got a deal. Okay, deal. All right, so now we got Miss Barnes going to be working there, and she looked like she's going to be a little bit of the comedic relief. But she hangs up the phone from her, and she gets a text message that says, told you so. And it's a whole bunch of pictures of Leah, suggestive, real juicy boobs all up in the camera and all of this. I'm assuming she sent these pictures to Fred Osborne. When Delilah sees it, she's upset because, remember, Leah told her that she didn't have an affair with Fred Osborne, even though we knew that was a lie. So she sits down. She just got to take a minute. Her assistant comes in there and says, is everything okay? And she was just like, well, let's see. I've got the biggest law firm in a case that I'm going against with a client who is willing to do any and everything up to and including murdering somebody. And I'm over here with Leah, who's my client, who won't stop lying to me. Okay, she's really pissing me off. I was just like, girl, it looked like it's going to be way more where that came from, honey, because Leah, she real flighty. And like I said, you gonna be in it with Tamara and all this. Yeah, the episode 2 was better than episode 1 for me, because I think we finally getting to realize, understand what the story is. But yeah, you guys, we in it at least for 1 season. Let's see what they got. All right, you guys, let me get on off of here, get on back to work, child. It's right at an hour, so let me go. You guys make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Rox. The channel is It's Rox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Goodbye.